Hi everybody, welcome to Jake's Showcase. My name's Jake Johnston. I do videos on Wednesdays. I thought the last video I did on detox was going to be my second last video on alcohol and drugs. But I decided that right now I have 13 videos up, and with this one it's going to make it 14. And then hopefully in about a month I'll have my final video in regards to alcohol and drugs. And what I thought I would do is to make it a nice round 15. What I always do is I put my alcohol and drugs playlist at the very bottom to sort of group them together for anybody who's interested in maybe watching my journey or watching my different steps that I've progressed through over the past well over four years. And what I've tried to do is I've tried to make it sort of like subsect it into different sort of categories that are part of quitting alcohol and drugs, like relationships or detoxes and stuff like that, just sort of to break it down for people who are interested in sort of the different areas. And this is going to be the last subgroup, which is going to talk about lifestyle and maintenance, because when we quit drinking alcohol and when we quit drugs, basically one of the biggest things that changes in our life is that our lifestyles change. When you stop using your drugs and alcohol, you have the very, very significant problems right away with withdrawal. But what happens is that because you're so familiarized with who you socialize with, the things you like to do, where you live, the people that you associate with, just your coping mechanisms for stuff that causes you either stress or joy, right? And we're really, really embedded into that. A lot of times what rehabilitation centers will do is they'll sort of break you out of that for a period of time, but the truth is that you got to go right back into it, right? You got to go back into it. And so how do you change your lifestyle, and what do you do in your lifestyle, in your day-to-day life, so that you can stay sober, right? That you can really stay away from drinking and drugs effectively, right? And you might hear lots of different suggestions from maybe drug counselors or from maybe rehab programs or something like that. You might hear like one-liners of what you should do, this and that. All I can really do is tell you what I do and what I find to be effective, and hopefully that gives you a bit of guidance, maybe on how that you can do it. So basically, the biggest catch once you quit drinking is that you can't go to the bars anymore. You can't go to the bars and you can't party. Now, I'm sort of for allowing myself to go into the bars, and I do. I might go for an hour or two. But just in general, you're not socializing like you used to. A big part of our modern society is based around going to the bar, going to the party, and drinking and drugging. Right? That's what we do. That's what I did. I don't know if that's what you do, but I was very, very good with it, right? And so all of a sudden you've cut this huge aspect of not just our day-to-day lifestyles, but of our society's way of promoting us going into like these places to socialize. Like how do you meet people? How do you get a girlfriend? How do you do these things without that significant thing? Not to mention that the music and stuff like that, the music, the sports, all of these cues, even the advertisements that you might see in magazines, push you towards wanting to go, right? There's nothing like happy hour at the end of a hard week, right? That's why we work. We work hard so that we can party hard, right? It's our whole society is built this way. And so now all of a sudden, you're not, you can't participate in that. Or you can participate in it, but you already know how that ends up, right? You end up in terrible, terrible, terrible situations, right? So how do you stay away from it? What do you got to do? And basically, one thing that I do now, this is what I do like now, and this is kind of what I like to do, is I always like to go for a long walk. I go for a long walk every single day. I almost go the exact same time, exact same place. It doesn't matter what the weather is. I'm walking, right? I need my air, I need my exercise, I need my space, I need to see people, right? It's important to keep up, you know, and interacting with people, right? And you know, so I find that the long walks and you know, just sort of that sort of moving and stuff like that to be really good. Exercise can be very good, you know, like more strenuous exercise. But what I do is I go for a walk every day, right? And I try to eat good, or I try to eat pretty good, or at least I try to eat what I like to eat, so that I'm satiated each day. And you know, I usually like to sort of you know, I'm a YouTube artist, so I like to do stuff on YouTube, and I like watching, you know, movies, or I do occasionally enjoy watching sports. Mostly I'm on the computer just doing, you know, I like watching YouTube videos and, you know, stuff like that. From time to time, maybe going out on a date, right? Going to a movie or something like that. But for the most part, you know, you have to learn how to sort of be comfortable with yourself, but by being with yourself and trying to get, you know, sort of like your highs off of other things, right? The real high that we should enjoy, and it should be enough, is waking up in the morning without any problems. And when you're sober, when you're not drunk, and when you're not addicted to drugs, you know, you're not racing around looking for more money, and you're not doing all sorts of crazy, trying to remember what happened, and, you know, trying to get yourself out of trouble, and all sorts of stuff that happens when, you know, you were drinking and drugging. Now all of a sudden you're waking up and it's a nice morning, right? You're feeling pretty good, feeling pretty refreshed, right? Got a good sleep. Hopefully you get another great day today, right? So, I mean, that should be good enough, but the truth is that it's not. A lot of times we still crave, you know, the highs. You know, and so by sort of becoming more and more comfortable with yourself and enjoying like the little things that you like to do, you know, okay, so what? You enjoy watching YouTube videos. If you enjoy doing that, or if you enjoy, you know, playing, you know, I like fantasy basketball, for example. If you enjoy doing that, then that's great, right? If you enjoy, you know, that's good enough, right? You got to sort of be happy with that, and you start to learn how to be happy with that. Another thing too is like with stress at jobs. When I've had jobs, you know, you get stressed. Your boss is coming down on you. Or you don't like your coworker doesn't like you, and you know, before, you know, you have your go-to is, oh, you know, I can't wait to go and just ease the pain away. Again, you can't do that, right? Your lifestyle doesn't, you know, you're trying to stay away from that. So, you know, how do you sort of get through that? Because as soon as those things happen, you want to go drinking again. You want to go have some, you know, drugs again. You want it, because that's what you do, you know, to ease the pain. The way I do it is you gotta really get tough, eh? You gotta get tough and let these things bounce off of you. And that's basically the thought. It's kind of like you make yourself like a little shield. And with all those you know, sort of anger and fighting and pain come in, you got to learn how to build up and just tough it out and let it bounce off you. Your boss yells at you, bounce off you. Somebody else got the promotion, bounce off you, right? This little worker is hating on you, or for whatever reason, bounce off of you, right? Same thing with relationships. A lot of times when you have a relationship, right, and things are going great, it's wonderful, right? So a lot of times people, you know, drinking is sort of part of the courtship process. And for me personally, I don't mind if other people drink, right? Just me, myself, don't. But on the downside of relationships, a lot of times people want to go and drink away their sorrows and their pains and their you know, angst, you know, their disappointment, or whatever it is, right? Try to think about things. So how do you do it without, again, your drugs or alcohol? Again, you have to hold tight, hold firm as you can, and learn how to let it bounce off of you, right? The hardest part of getting sober is staying sober, right? And the reason that that's the hardest part is because our society has trained us so well to use drugs and alcohol to let out you know, that's the thing you want to do. That's the final goal, right? But for people who drank like me, you know, I was so damn good at drinking. I was so professional at drinking, right? I was so cunning and smart and sharp, and I would just drink myself into complete oblivion. And I'm not talking for a night. I'm talking for weeks and weeks, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beers, No food, nothing. I don't really care about any of that, right? So this has been a huge shift for me, right? Learning how to live sober. Learning how to live a good, clean, sober life. Learning how to try to improve yourself. And it's slow. It's slow. And it's really slow. As slow as you think it is right now, if you're less sober than me, it's even slower than you think. I'm telling you. So, you have to be extremely patient. You have to be extremely conscious that, it does get better. It does get a bit better. It does get a bit better, a bit better, a bit better. And little things in your life get a little bit better, right? The key is to being strong, being firm, and when these urges come, you stay away from it, right? You slowly start to get used to enjoying getting up in the morning, and there's no problems for you, right? Enjoying a nice evening home watching a movie, right? Enjoying, visiting people, and leaving when the party starts getting a little bit more, intense with the drinking and drugs than you liked it. But you get to have a good face when you're there, right? Everybody remembers you. You're a great guy, this and that, and and it also helps too because there's a lot of people when they're looking for relationships, right? Maybe they've had a drunk husband or wife, or boyfriend or girlfriend, right? And they know what that's like, and so it's attractive, the fact that you're straight and sober. So it does take time, right? But it does happen for you, right? The lifestyle adjustments, it's painful, it's hard, it's a lot of relearning, right? But it is possible, right? It's possible, and I'm proof it's possible. I was the worst drunk I've ever heard of, right? So I'm even amazed I'm here right now. I'm amazed all the times I was in the hospitals and in things with blinkers on, it's amazing that I'm okay and I'm getting better and better and better. So go for it. Change your lifestyle. Know that that's the key. Be tough when these emotions come. Be tough when you see the media cues to go. Be tough when it's time for happy hour to go and you're going to take a pass. Be tough when that favorite song of yours is playing on the dance floor and you just need a drink. Desperate. Be tough. This is you. This is your new lifestyle. This is your new life, right? You're going to be clean. You're going to be sober. And you're going to live the life that you always wanted to. All right? You can do it. You all can do it. All right? Hope that's helpful for somebody out there. Anybody. I hope it helps you. All right? Again, if you, I have a playlist. If you're interested in seeing some more stuff about the drugs and alcohol, I hope that you have a good sober day today, right? And I hope that if you're a person who you're thinking of right now, if they're still having a hard time, maybe they can see some of this stuff and maybe that will help them, right? One person, that's it. That's all that matters, right? Please don't forget to like my video below, subscribe to my channel up above. I do my videos on Wednesdays, and I hope you have a wonderful day.